It's the Milan derby. It's the Derby della Madonnina. What are you expecting from it? What's your prediction?
I'm so excited about this derby, and I have this little tinge of sadness with it as well, which is, of course, the same thing that's going to make us sad all season, which is the empty stadiums. I think it's hard to overemphasize what this derby is in recent history. First of all, sort of it ties into what we've just been talking about. Last point on Inter and what this win meant. This is the first time that Inter have been top of the table at the end of a round of games in the second half of a season since 2010, when they won the treble. Okay, so it's been a long time since Inter have been in the driving seat, and they've had some chances along the way. So this is the first time they've taken that opportunity to get into the driving seat at this point of a season. But they're in the driving seat, and the team in second is Milan, their neighbours, the team that shares San Siro. It's such an amazing setup. On top of that, throw in the fact they just played, it was a few weeks ago, but it feels like 2 minutes ago in the Coppa Italia, and it was the spiciest game that you can imagine. You've got a new mural just outside San Siro that someone has painted of Ibrahimovic and Lukaku going at each other. It's mouth-watering. It makes you so excited. And I just wish we had the choreography and everything else.
Can you imagine the Curva Nord and the Curva Sud, 90,000?
Do you have a favourite, Nicky?
I think for me right now it's Inter. I think exactly as just been talked about, a full week to prepare. I think it's such an advantage. And in no way at all should this be construed as master planning, because I think Conte didn't do something deliberate. The players certainly didn't do something deliberate to go out of the Champions League, right? They just weren't good enough. But it may just work out for them to put them in the best position to go ahead and win this league title.
But hold on, Nicky, because we're recording this before Milan's game against Cervena Zvitska. Yeah. And I think it's going to be a second string team, because if you're in punching distance from the Scudetto, as Milan have been top, and
in
now
the Europa League, you think it's going to be a second string team?
Of course, it has to be. I'm sorry, you cannot go full strength and then have the biggest game of the season to reclaim top of the table. There's going to be wholesale changes. So a lot of the players starting against Inter this weekend, is my best guess, will not have played any significant minutes on Thursday.
It's still disruptive to have to go and deal with.
No, I'm not saying it is, but I'm expecting a second string team for Milan.
So 2 for Inter. Mina, what do you say?
I think that the slap in the face, I still think that is actually come at a great time. I don't know whether... Listen, I think that Ibrahimovic has a point to prove. And I'm always scared of players like him and of his caliber when they have a point to prove. I think he's really upset with himself with the way that he behaved in the Coppa Italia. I think he hates that he came out as the villain in that, and that he's had his head held down. He's gotten criticism from Fabio Capello over the weekend. It's all coming out against him. And I think that he wants to make a statement, and he's a very good player at making a statement. But I do think a week to prepare, the disruption of the Europa League, just the traveling alone, or the preparation alone, it's difficult. So I think it could be a draw.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.